This is a free download from the BBC. For more information, go to bbc.co.uk/podcasts.
Hello everyone, welcome and well done on getting this far with the podcast. Fun so far, isn't it? It's only gonna get better. We're gonna have lots of laughs. Yeah! Scott Balcony's here.
Hello, all right.
Who are you?
I'm Scott Balcony.
I'll start the podcast straight after Justin Dealey's impression of Cilla Black. Justin, I've got to say, Catherine Boyle does an impression of Cilla. Let's hear your impression.
Anyone who had a heart.
Right, that's Catherine Boyle. But yours, Justin...
Yeah, it's pretty good.
...was actually... Would you listen? We got 35 seconds of the show left.
All right, Shook.
I've never heard him do a voice before, apart from that slimy one he does on the radio.
How are you?
Justin, could you sing us out in the style of Cilla for the end of the show? Ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you as Cilla Black, bearing in mind he would be charging £10 for this, and some idiots, some people would pay for it. Justin Dealey as Cilla Black. Away you go.
Which song?
Step Inside, Love.
Step inside, love. Step inside, love. Step inside, love. Yeah, Chuck. Can I go now? Can I go home? Iain? Can I go?
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Fat, lardy, chubby, plump, large, podgy, fat. Are we too hard on fat people? There was a story in the Daily Mail this week saying that doctors are being encouraged by NICE to be nice to people who are overweight or fat. Lynn in Hemel called in and told me she is repulsed by fat people.
Well, I'm a bit embarrassed to say this. I'm a bit fattest, if that's the word.
Fattest? In what way?
I find enormously fat people a bit repulsive.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's like a bit like Justin was saying. And when I smoke, so if I die of lung cancer, that's my fault.
Yeah.
And I know some people have medical conditions.
Yeah.
But you sometimes see people and they're just absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Especially in the supermarkets, and then you look in their trolleys and it's full of just rubbish.
But they repulse you?
Really, I'm talking people who are sort of 25 stone. I'm not talking somebody who's, 15 stone.
No.
I'm talking really like the people you see on, say, Jeremy Kyle or in America. People that are massive. I used to go to lunch with a friend and she brought one of her other friends along a couple of times. And this lady must have been 25 stone. And I felt a bit embarrassed because everybody stared at her. And I felt, she was a very flamboyant woman and wore fantastically bright-coloured clothes. She didn't feel uncomfortable about herself. But I felt a little bit uncomfortable because everybody just stared at her and talked, in whispers that everyone could hear. And I felt kind of embarrassed being with her.
Isn't that interesting? Because did she feel embarrassed?
No, she was a very flamboyant person.
Yes.
And I assume that it didn't particularly bother her.
So why did it embarrass you, Lynn? I'm fascinated by this because it's obviously... Did you have fat parents or was there someone fat in your life as you were growing up? But there's something
nothing.
deeper here.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's because I felt embarrassed for her.
Yeah.
Because everybody was sort of laughing at her and pointing at her, and especially little children. And children are so lovely and honest. And they say, "Oh, mummy, why is that woman so enormous or fat or whatever?"
Yeah, they do.
And I don't think fat is necessarily a bad word any more than saying someone's skinny.
So you think we should stick with the word fat? Do you think doctors need to be... This is what this report suggests, that doctors need to be a bit more respectful and non-judgmental? Or should, Lynn, the doctors say, all right, Fat Steve, you've got to stop eating those Ginsters, you've got to go on a diet, otherwise you're going to die. It's your fault.
I think, to be fair, I think most doctors I've ever come across are very sympathetic and they're not rude to their patients or horrible. But it's a fact, really. It's like... If my doctor obviously wants me to stop smoking, which I'm trying to do, and he doesn't pussyfoot around it, he doesn't have a go at me and he helps me. I've got things to help me. But yes, of course, if somebody's... You see things in the papers, don't you, where somebody really enormous has to go into hospital
Yep.
and have to take outside of their house or something.
You don't see that very often. You do see it occasionally.
No, you don't see it. It's not
A crane comes
thing.
and gets them.
Yeah, I'm not implying it's a regular thing.
Yeah.
But when people are getting to that size...
Like a grabber on those things you get at the fairground, isn't it, sometimes?
Yeah, they can't...
Yeah.
They can't
Don't want to drop that.
They can't even leave the house or something.
But do you not feel sorry for those people, or sympathy, or empathy?
I feel incredibly sorry for them. I'm not... You know, I don't want to hate campaign against me.
No.
I do feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for anyone that is addicted, whether they're addicted to food, I don't know.
Later on, a rather large gentleman by the name of Mick called in.
Well, I'm a bit fat myself, so, you know, and for that woman to say that she finds fat people repulsive, may I tell her straight right now, we think the same about you, your attitude, love. And this little bit of fat I've got, well, I'd rather that keep me warm at night than you.
How fat are you? Referring to Lynn, who we spoke to about 30 minutes ago. How big are you, Mick?
Well, I should be down to about a 34 waist, but I'm actually 36 to 38.
Right.
Right, now my weight went on, you know, after I stopped smoking for health reasons. At the moment, I've got type 2 diabetes, which is...
Is that because of your size?
Yeah?
Is that because of your size, the diabetes?
Well, my grandmother was a diabetic, so there might be just something in the family there.
Right.
You
But
know,
the size wouldn't have helped, would it?
No, maybe not. But then she weren't exactly oversized herself, poor little love.
No, but what I'm saying is, if you have a propensity towards something like diabetes, then being overweight could possibly bring that on a bit quicker.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
How tall are you, Mick?
I'm a cute little 5'4".
You're 5'4", with a 38-inch waist.
Yeah, more or less.
That is big, isn't it, Mick?
Yeah.
How much do you weigh? Do you know?
Probably about 12. I don't think I've weighed more than 13 stone.
Really? When was the last time you weighed yourself?
I don't know. You know, but I don't care about this stupid woman's attitude.
No.
She's obviously speaking out of sheer ignorance. I make no excuses for what I'm saying. If she can come around and say things like that, then, you know, she's got to suffer the consequences herself. Who are other people to criticise? When I see these people get up and they walk on water like the good Lord Jesus did, when they can perform miracles and be perfect, then maybe they might have a bit of room to criticise other people. But I'm
Mick,
telling you now, I don't like her attitude. She could be the most beautiful woman in the world, but my tummy is going to keep me warm on a cold night in bed, which is more than I'd let her do.
But Mick, but be honest. You don't want that big fat tummy, do you?
It's mine.
Right.
It's mine. It
But you don't
belongs
want
to me.
it.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
But you said you're trying to lose weight. So obviously you do have a
I
slight...
never exactly said I was trying to lose weight.
Right.
I never said that now.
Whose fault is it you're that size, Mick? Whose fault is it you're fat?
Well, it's just my metabolism slowed right down after I stopped smoking. So.
Now, Mick.
Oh, come off of it.
Mick.
That silly bird.
No,
mate,
no,
you know.
Mick. No, hang on. Mick. I've let. Listen, let's not have too much of a pop at Lynn. She came on and she made a point. You've made yours, but that's an excuse, isn't it, to say that your metabolism slowed down when you gave up smoking? I don't think that happened. I gave up smoking, and I gave up smoking. I put on a tiny little bit of weight, saw what was happening, and I kicked it into check.
Okay, there's a few people who don't put on so much weight when they stop smoking, but the most people that I know who stopped smoking did put on weight, a fair bit in some cases.
How big were you when you were smoking?
I suppose I was about 10 stone-ish.
Right. What size waist?
I don't know. It could have been a 34, something like that.
It's 34 for a 5'4" fella. That's still big, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you were a big fella anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather be me than Lynn. Put it that way.
But is this you being a little bit defensive? Do you think, Mick?
Oh,
because you.
Yeah. I have a right to be defensive when unqualified people like Lynn take a pop at us.
But what
I will defend myself.
You are defending yourself robustly, Mick, and I'm sure our listeners are enjoying hearing you defend yourself. But seriously, Mick, be serious. You know you're putting your health at risk. You've got diabetes, which I would suggest has prompted, has been brought on by your size. Certainly brought on quicker by your size. You're at risk of heart disease. You're at risk of dying. Mick, you don't want that, do you?
We're all going to die one day.
Yeah, but you're going to die a lot quicker because of your size.
Dying, it doesn't bother me. I mean, we're all going to die one day. Don't even bring that into the conversation for crying out loud.
But you're going to die a lot quicker than me, probably.
Probably. Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but there's a stronger chance you'll die before me.
Like, you could go, one of us could go out of our homes, or in your case from work today, and get run over by the number 9 bus.
I suspect the bus would see you better than he saw me, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
But
in that case, then it's going to likely grab you if he doesn't see you.
Well, exactly. There you go, you see. But, Mick, you can't... have you got a partner in your life?
No.
Would you like one?
Yeah.
Why do you think you haven't got one?
Well, I don't know yet.
How old are you, Mick?
But you see, the thing, I mean, I'm 52 now, and I've had girlfriends yet,
yeah.
But, you know...
Do you think your size could be...
My size has got nothing to do with it. I did have a girlfriend for 3 years while I was this size, you know? So, you know, and she never complained about my size, but she was only about 8.5 stone herself.
And you genuinely think that your size has nothing to do with the fact that you're single at the moment? I'm just asking.
No, it hasn't.
Okay. And you're happy
What's wrong with personality rather than looks? To go with to refuse to be with somebody because of their size or their looks is a very shallow person, and I wouldn't want that kind of person within 100 miles of me, let alone have a relationship with.
And Mick, hand on heart, are you...
It's there.
Okay, got it. Are you happy with your size?
Yes.
The Mayor of Milton Keynes has withdrawn support from the business school at the centre of a BBC Three Counties investigation. The founder of the Harvard School of Management and Technology, Dr. Tina Beloved Powerful, told us on Friday that Brian White would be attending a graduation ceremony on Saturday, despite her ongoing trademark row with the prestigious American university, Harvard. But after hearing our show on Friday, Mr. White changed his mind, and on the show we revealed the school is being investigated by police and trading standards. She told this show last week that she hasn't received a penny from students. Well, our reporter, Justin Dealey, very kindly gave up his Saturday, and you went along to the graduation ceremony, didn't you, Justin?
Yes, hello, Ian. I did indeed. It was an interesting event. It was in Milton Keynes. It was the Church of Christ, the Cornerstone, which is where Tina has one of her campuses. 2 campuses there, 2 rooms inside a church.
Now, on Friday's show, we had a long 30-minute chat with Tina, and if you missed it, go and download the podcast. The whole thing's there. Let me just play this clip, Justin. On Friday, I asked her if she was charging students to study at her school. This is what she said.
We trained them free of charge without taking any penny from them.
Did, when I asked you what the cost was, you did say £3,500.
Yes, that is yes.
So where does that money go, that £3,500?
I said that is the cost, but we never charged any one of them.
So you've never charged anybody?
We have not charged those students that were graduating. Because
have you ever charged anybody?
I have not for now.
So she's not charged anybody for now. Is that what you found out on Saturday, Justin?
Well, you're about to find out right now, because I spoke to one of those students, Knock, and I asked her how she found the course.
It's quite intense, because it's like every week you have a module. And, I mean, for me, I left study many years ago. So to get back into, studies, and, it was hard and stressful as well. But, thank God I managed.
How much did you pay to go on this course?
Well, there were supposed to be 36 modules, but we didn't complete because of the time factor. So we had 22 modules, so I paid £220.
So each module was £10.
Mm-hmm.
So you paid £220. You've handed that over to the school.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
When you were learning the course, where did you study?
I study in one of the rooms in Christ the Church Cornerstone.
Would you describe that as a campus? No, it's just a small room in a church.
Yeah.
If I said to you, campus, what springs to my mind? It's quite a few buildings, a lecture hall. Is that how you would describe a campus?
A lot of buildings, got facilities.
Let me ask you this finally. If you paid £3,500 for this course, would you feel ripped off?
Well, the thing is, people have to be honest and transparent what they're selling, you know.
So by describing a campus, which is in actual fact a room inside a church, do you feel that's being transparent?
So that's Knock, one of the students that you spoke to, who had paid, despite Tina on Friday assuring us that no students had paid any money. You spoke to one who had definitely paid, not the full £3,500,
nope,
but had definitely paid some money.
Absolutely.
Did you manage to speak to Tina herself?
Yes, I did. After talking to Knock, I tried to have a conversation with Tina, and here's what happened. Well, Tina, you've invited us here today. You made that offer quite clear on Friday's show. Would you mind showing me your campus?
No, not today, please.
But Tina, you've invited us here today.
Not today, please.
OK, you said you weren't taking a penny from your students. They're telling me they're paying you. They paid £220.
Not today, please.
But they've just told me that they're paying you £220.
Not today.
But why do you make the invite, Tina? Tina, I need to ask you, your students are saying they're paying you £220. Can I get your comment to that, please? Tina, I just want to get your reaction to that. Because you have invited us here today. Your students are telling me they are paying you.
Now embarrassing me, please. It's okay.
But you've invited us.
You can see.
Can I just get your reaction? Can you show me your campus? Tina, when are you going to start charging students £3,500? Can I ask you why you made the invite live on air, but you won't talk to us? So please, can you answer my question? Tina, please, can you answer my question? Are you refusing to talk to us, Tina?
Wow, that's unexpected and slightly uncomfortable, if I'm honest. Just to make it clear, we were invited. She extended that invitation live on air, and I assumed that with that we would be able to speak to her freely. Did you manage to speak to her later on? Did you try again?
I left it 30 minutes, and Ian, I did try again. Here's what happened. Tina, can I just have one last chance, OK?
Are you hungry?
Am I hungry?
Yes. You want to eat?
I'm fine. I want to ask you a couple of quick questions. Tina, it's the last chance.
After eating, then we talk. After eating, we talk.
You will definitely talk to me after eating?
Yes, sit down and talk, because I invited you, so you have to sit down and eat first. Okay. After eating, then I can, answer you again. You promise me you have to eat.
Tina, you're pulling...
Tina,
stop this. Okay. Yes. Tina, let me just get this right. If I eat something, will you guarantee to talk to me?
Yes, I will talk to you. Give it.
Hey, that's not bad, Justin. So what did you have to eat?
I had some jerk chicken and some rice. So I was forced to sit down in a room and have something to eat. Tina did eventually talk to me.
To build up the suspense, you can hear that interview after 5 seconds of silence and the C chord from our musician in the studio, Scott Balcony. We need your guitar for that. It's coming. Five seconds of silence and the C chord from our musician in the studio, Scott Balcony. No, that's too jolly. Give us a menacing chord.
Oh, OK.
OK, now cut all this out. After 5 seconds of silence and a menacing chord from our house band. That sounds better.
Yeah, good.
2,
thanks, man.
3, 4. It's not a Hard Day's Night. Give us a D minor. I'll just forget it. Just play the clip.
OK.
Well, Tina, you kept me waiting about an hour or so. A few key questions for you. You told us on Friday's show you hadn't taken a penny off your students. Some of the students are saying to me that they have given money to you. What's your reaction to that?
That's what I'm saying. I have not taken any money from my students because I gave them scholarship, all of them. Scholarship. What they paid for is the handout, the manual, £10. That's what they paid for, manual.
So why did you say to us on Friday you hadn't taken a penny off your students?
I have not taken a penny from them because I gave them scholarship.
We've got them on tape saying they paid you £220.
They didn't pay me 200, and what they're telling you, probably you're misconstruing them.
No.
Well, you're misconstruing them. What they told you they pay for is the handouts, which enables them to understand the teaching, the biblical teaching. Biblical teaching. So that is what they paid for.
You're talking about charging on your website £3,500 and £5,500 for these courses. When are you going to start charging those prices?
Yes. We're believing God that by next year, January next year. Yeah, January down, we will start, when our students, you understand, start charging 3,500 for home students.
And 5,500 for students from overseas?
Yes, 5,500 for students overseas, by the power of God, by the special grace of God.
Is that great value for money? What do you think?
We have not charged any penny.
But when you start charging those prices, is that good value for money?
Yes, good value, when we start charging it.
So that's going to be happening from January?
Yes, please.
You claim to have 2 campuses. They are 2 rooms inside a church. You have false accreditation on your website. You also claim to have a library. That is a public library. You also claim to have a central office. That is your flat. You're being investigated by the police. You're being investigated by trading standards. What would you say to any of our listeners right now who are accusing you of being a fraudster? This is your chance to put the record straight. What would you like to say to our listeners?
These are false allegations. I am doing grand and great work, noble work. You have seen how happy, how transformed people who were never educated in their lives have just been put through to be educated at no cost. I do great and wonderful. In fact, I'm going to get MBA award from the Queen herself. She will congratulate me.
You think that's going to happen? Seriously?
Very sooner than later. I tell you from my heart of hearts.
Are you living in a fantasy world, Tina?
I am telling you from my heart of hearts that the next time you see me on television, being congratulated for what the kind of work I am doing in Milton Keynes.
Are you deluded?
I'm telling you, you have seen with your own eyes. Except, of course, you're not. If you're genuine and you're frank and you're truthful.
I'm being frank. I'm inside a church hall. This is not a campus.
This is a campus. What do you understand by a campus? A campus, a place of learning, is a place where lecturers and students meet.
So you can go to bed at night and you can sleep easy knowing you're not misleading the public. You can do that.
Not at all, yes, with a lot of emphasis. You saw with your own eyes. You saw the happiness, you saw the joy. You saw it's so transparent. These are people, under normal circumstances, will not have gotten education because the government are skyrocketing prices, school fees.
Are you worried you're going to be arrested?
Who is going to be arrested? Is
You're being investigated by the police and by the trading standards.
Yes,
are you worried that you're going to be arrested? Are you living in fear, Tina?
So wait, how can I live in fear? You understand? How can I live in fear?
You're being investigated by the police?
Yes.
I'm not.
I'm not being investigated by police because good name.
You are being investigated by the police.
That's what you say, investigated, and look at me talking with you. So where is the police that is investigating me? You understand? If you arrest me because I am in your country, you want to arrest me, that just like you arrested Nelson Mandela, just like you arrested Nelson Mandela, but I can assure you that you will not arrest me because I will, you understand, it's not I don't know how to put it.
Unbelievable. And of course, Tina will keep us posted with the MBE that she will definitely receive from the Queen. Definitely. That's not nonsense. My mum's in a care home. Yeah, put CCTV in there. It's not going to be viewed by it's not like a webcam where anyone in the world can log on and watch my mum watching EastEnders. It'll be just the boss of the care home and me and my sister, and that's it. Put CCTV cameras in every room, in every care home. It makes perfect sense, as far as I'm concerned. Dennis is in Dunstable. What do you think, Dennis?
Good morning, Lee. Yeah, for once,
Iain.
I totally agree with you.
Thank you, Dunstable.
Right. Is that all I'm going to get?
No, if you get my name right, I might let you say a bit longer.
Oh, all right. Well, good morning, Mr. Lee.
OK, thank you. My first name is?
God knows.
Do you not know my first name?
No. I don't refer to people by their first name until I've invited to, till they've introduced themselves.
Well, Dennis, you were invited to use my first name.
Well, what is it? Come on, you've got to introduce yourself. I do this to the children. The children round here all call me Dennis. Even the kids, the small kids. Because they're not rude, they're nice kids. And I like children.
Yes.
So... But as I say...
We'll get to your point in a second.
Yeah.
Have a guess at what you think my first name is. Bearing in mind you've been calling me for the...
I think it's Iain.
Well done, Dennis. Congratulations. 5 points. Excellent, yes.
Now then...
Yes.
I totally agree. I mean, if anybody should have an idea on this, you should. If your mum's in a care home and you're a loving son, you're looking after her.
Yeah.
Doesn't it start, though, Iain, when you're looking after babies with things in the bedroom so they can wake you up if something wrong?
The baby monitor.
You start with baby monitors.
Yeah.
You're looking after them. Now they're doing the same to you.
Yeah.
I mean, as you know, my wife and I are at an age when these things will become very relevant to us, but luckily...
I've got an idea, Dennis.
Yeah.
I've got an idea for a TV show, and let me just see how you feel about this. There's you and your missus living at home, phoning up, irritating me, and probably irritating other people as well.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Why don't we install cameras...
Yes.
...in your house...
Yes. If you like.
And we can watch... I bet it's more interesting than Big Brother and all those other reality shows.
I think so. We live a very, very calm life.
Whoa. Hey, I bet there's a few secrets in your house, aren't there, Dennis? Hey?
Put it this way, she broke her fingernails the other day, and I reckon it's where she was scratching my back during one of our moments.
Whoa, Dennis! The public needs to see your moments, don't they?
Well, I'll tell you what, they get a shock if they saw me undressed. They would get a shock.
This week we got talking all about pandas. Now, all I said was that I think we should just leave them to die out. I didn't say shoot them, I didn't say poke them to death or hunt them. I simply said it's survival of the fittest, and we shouldn't help them to breed if they're not doing it naturally. Pete in Luton called in and completely agreed with me. Well, actually, he didn't completely agree with me, but he saw where I was coming from. Right, OK, honestly, he didn't see where I was coming from, but he kind of got my point. He thought I was talking nonsense and got very, very angry. Not now!
I think the last comment that you made with the young lady about the news that was in the paper...
Yes.
I think is an absolutely disgusting thing to say.
2 points there. Which young lady? Catherine?
Yes.
Oh, OK. Well, what was the thing I said?
Well, you said that you should just let the pandas die out.
Why is that disgusting?
Well, I think it's one of God's animals, and are you expecting just to if they die out, then obviously, as you said, like the dodo, it was man that actually made the dodo extinct for killing them and obviously eating them.
Right.
But with the pandas,
what do pandas give to society?
A lot of joy of people actually looking at them.
Behind bars, in tiny little cells.
They're not all behind bars. There are pandas out in the wild where people actually go and see them and pay to see them. And the money that they pay is to keep these pandas in secured areas where they're going to survive.
But listen, if the panda has not been able to survive, it is evolution, isn't it, Pete? If the panda hasn't been able to survive, why should we spend millions of pounds, and it is millions, trying to protect a few pandas? They've proved they're not world-worthy.
Well, you may as well say that about any animal then. So we'll go on about elephants and rhinos, just because they want the horns. So you're saying that we should go out and kill them all?
No, that's not what... No, Pete, I'm not... No, you're not listening at all, Pete. I'm not saying we should kill pandas. I'm saying we should just let them die in a natural way. It's going to happen, so let's just let it happen.
But if we do that, the only place you're going to see pandas, unfortunately, are in museums where they've obviously, yes, they've died, of ill health or whatever, and they're going to be stuffed and you're going to see them behind glass cases.
Yep.
I mean, any animal should be allowed to live. If it needs a bit of support...
Any animal... Pete, any animal should be allowed to live if it can survive on its own. It's natural. It's the natural order, survival of the fittest. Pandas are not that fit.
Well, they are in the wild. They're surviving because they are actually.
Well, then let them survive. That's fantastic. Let them get on and let them survive. I'm not saying we should go out and kill them. I'm just saying we should let them die off at their own pace. I don't think that's disgusting. That seems just common sense to me.
No, but my view is it's one of God's creatures, whether it be a frog or whatever. God's creatures, and I think that if it needs people to help this endangered species to survive, then why not?
Why don't we help people?
Well, listen, there's loads of people over here that we're helping. That if they stayed in their own country, they could help themselves.
Well, there's loads of... Well, we should send these pandas back to China, then. These flipping Chinese pandas coming over here, taking up all our zoo space. Disgusting. Send them back to China. We're paying the Chinese £6 million worth of benefits to have these Chinese pandas over here. I think it's outrageous, Peter.
Well, OK, I agree with you on one sense. Yes, send them back, because apparently in their own...
Who are we talking about now? The immigrants or the... Are we talking about the immigrants or the pandas? I'm confused.
I'm talking about the pandas.
OK.
Now, you're going on about it's costing us money.
Yes.
But then send the pandas, the ones that we've got over here in Edinburgh Zoo, send them all back. If they can survive in their own country, then let them survive there.
Pete, thank you very much indeed. Pete majestically managed to turn a conversation about pandas into a conversation about immigrants. And that, ladies and gents, is the standard of call we get here on BBC Three Counties Radio. And if I'm honest, I wouldn't want it any other way. Here's our reporter, Justin Dealey, talking about Christmas. No! Actually, that's quite appropriate.
Cheers, man.
It's the 16th of October. Well, our reporter, Justin Dealey, does all his Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve. That's right, isn't it, Justin?
Yeah, morning, boss. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, OK. Is that not a little bit late?
No.
OK. Is everything all right with you this morning?
You're fine.
OK, just very, very short answers. OK. Well, you've been speaking to people about this, haven't you?
I have, yes. I've been out and about in Bedfordshire asking people about Christmas shopping. Have they finished? Have they started? Iain, this has prompted some very bizarre answers and some, quite frankly, bizarre behaviour. Here's what people had to say. Have you started your Christmas shopping?
No, I haven't. It's too early.
And what do you think about these people who have already completed all of their Christmas shopping? Are they nutters?
Totally. Unbelievable. People like that are what cause all the problems, I tell you.
Jackie, you've started. How many presents have you bought?
2.
Okay. Are these special presents?
Yeah, they're from both my girls.
Okay. And when did you buy them?
3 weeks ago.
Okay. Big question. Why? Isn't it too early?
No, they want them. And historically, if I've left it till the last minute, they've sold out. So, grabbed them early.
Taking no chances?
Definitely not. I'm not a chancer. I'm a dancer.
Are you now? Fancy a bit of ABBA dancing queen? I've got my ghetto blaster in the car.
Oh, come on then. Get it out now.
Let's go, girl. Thank you. Shona, Christmas shopping. Have you got everything prepared already?
No, I've only bought one present. Yeah, it's for my mum, so I had to get that early to make sure I definitely get it in for her.
Do you know anybody who's completed their Christmas shopping?
Yes, my mum. She's completely finished her Christmas shopping. Yeah, she starts in, January sales.
Oh, get out of here.
No, I'm being deadly serious.
Why? Why does she do this?
So she's organised. She just loves Christmas. It's her favourite time of year. So she buys it all year round. And I have to buy her Father Christmas every year to add to the collection.
You've got a weird family. So, Christmas is out of the way, New Year's out of the way, and your mum's back in the shops the first week of January buying things for the next Christmas.
Yeah, that's what she does, yeah.
Tell her I said hello. What's your mum's name?
Pat.
Morning, Pat. We love you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I help?
Hello there, sir. Good morning. I'm from Iainlee's Breakfast Show. We just wondered, have you started your Christmas shopping yet?
I'm not 100% sure, sir, about that.
Well, you don't know if you started your Christmas shopping or not?
Sorry, can I ask who's speaking?
Yeah, my name's Justin. I work with Iainlee.
Sorry, Iainlee?
Christmas shopping? I'm presuming you being a lady, you've already started. Is that correct?
Yep.
Almost finished?
Yep.
Almost finished?
Yeah. I buy when I see things that I know people will like, so I don't plan it that way.
Hey, sir. Morning to you. Have you started your Christmas shopping yet?
No.
You look quite offended that I'm even asking you that question.
No, you don't offend me. I'll give you a quiz. There's a car. He gets a puncture. So he takes the wheel off, but when he looks, it's kicked one of the nuts away. How's he going to get home?
Dunno. What's that got to do with Christmas shopping?
Well, it's a quiz.
I know, but I'm asking about Christmas shopping. I'm not doing a quiz.
Well, I told you, I do a bit here and there, so when the month comes before Christmas, I've got it all.
Lovely. Thank you very much indeed for your time, sir. Have a wonderful day.
Well, Justin, that man not only set your quiz, he also got the question wrong. He got the question wrong. It's not the puzzle. Isn't he's knocked one nut away? He's knocked all of the nuts away.
Apparently so.
How does he? That gentleman certainly had all of his nuts kicked away. No, hang on. What does that mean? That's horrible. Now, so he's got the puzzle is a man takes his wheel off the car.
Yes.
And he goes to put it back on, put a new wheel on, new tyre. He's lost all of the nuts. How does he drive it home?
Well, apparently...
No, don't give us the answer.
OK.
I know the answer. Catherine Ball, do you know the answer?
Don't think I do.
Do you not? Kelly Betts, do you know the answer?
No. What? So, hold on. So he's got no nuts left on his car?
On one wheel?
On one wheel?
Yeah.
How does he drive it home?
That's the question.
Well, how far does he live? Because he might already be on his drive.
How's he going to get home, Kelly?
What? Could he not drive with it still?
You can't drive. You can't drive with a wheel that has.
He just gets new nuts then.
He's in the middle of nowhere.
Well,
He's 5 miles away from home. He's in the middle of nowhere.
He rings a breakdown recovery.
He hasn't
service.
got breakdown recovery service membership.
He just finds the nuts. Why did he kick them all away?
They fell down a drain.
You can drive with a puncture for a bit anyway, so I'm sure he would have been all right.
He couldn't drive 5 miles. And I'll tell you the answer to that riddle at the end of the podcast. 3 women who were pulled over by Hertfordshire police have made a formal complaint about the way they were treated. Sonia Muneri was a passenger in a car with her 2 aunts and her 4-month-old cousin when they were stopped by police in the early hours of last Thursday on the A10 in Cheshunt. The family claim they have no idea why they were stopped, and when one of them refused to get out of the car, police smashed a side window and arrested her. Sonia recorded some of what happened. The woman you hear speaking is Sonia's aunt. Let me know your thoughts.
Anything. I want an explanation as to why I've been stopped. So it's because I'm driving a car and I'm black. You've told me that cars get stolen. If I'd been white, you'd never have stopped me. And that's a fact.
How do we know you're black?
You saw me. I actually saw you getting to that roundabout.
I see you.
I saw you getting to that roundabout. And you did see me.
Open the door right now.
No, I am not going to. I'm feeling threatened by you.
I hope you do.
I want to talk to somebody else who's reasonable. Go away. I don't want to talk to these two.
Talk to me.
Can they go away, please?
No, they're not going anywhere.
No, they must stand far away. I do not wish to look at this. What is she bringing that button out for?
Because you're refusing to open the door.
Listen, I would like to speak to somebody else. These two have been very. I'm not happy with these two, and I'm a lawful citizen. I've not broken any laws. I am driving here.
I'm going to smash your window very quickly, and it's at your expense. Do you understand?
Why would you smash my window for?
Because you won't open the door.
Why is no need to open the door when you're holding all these buttons and things like that? And like I'm saying to you, I feel very threatened.
You're a woman with a child.
I'm a woman with a child, and you're threatening me.
Right, get out the car now. Get out the car now.
Oh, that way.
Get out the car as well.
Come on. Let's get
No, I'm coming out. Please don't do that.
Right now.
I'm just surprised.
Right now. Get out of the car now.
Oh, my days. Oh, my days. Guys, you don't have to do that.
Look at the mess you've made.
Right, can you jump out the car and go and stand on the pavement?
I haven't done anything.
You didn't say you did. Your friend's an idiot, you know that, don't you? You could have been driving away right now.
Well, simple question. Should they have got out of the car? Bearing in mind, you remember there was a 4-month-old baby in that car. And that was an edited version of events. We have asked to speak to Herts Police, who tell us an investigation has been launched, so they are unable to comment at the time. Well, Sonia Muneri joins me now. Oh, Sonia, why do you think you were stopped?
To be honest, they first stopped us to ask us if we were lost.
Right.
And from things then, we just don't understand why they stopped us. We actually did ask them if they stopped us because we were black.
Now, in the recording, we can hear them say that they didn't know you were black when they stopped you. Do you believe that?
No, I don't believe that because, I mean, after stopping us, they could have just let us go, but they didn't.
So, Sonia, first of all, they asked you if you were lost. What happened then?
Basically, they said, "Are you lost?" We said no, and then they moved on to insurance. And after sorting out the insurance issue,
because your sister who was driving Plax, she was driving, but she didn't have insurance on that car, did she?
On that car, she didn't.
Okay.
She wasn't aware of that. But after realising that she wasn't, they sorted that issue out, and then she came back into the car.
So she got out of the car, got in the car with the police officer. They established that she didn't have insurance on the car, and then she got back in the car with you.
Yeah, back into the passenger side.
And then what happened?
And then they moved on to saying that we didn't indicate at the roundabout, and they said that we were travelling at 30 miles an hour at a 50-mile zone.
They said you were travelling at 30 miles per hour in a 50-mile-per-hour zone, which, as far as I know, is not against the law.
They then moved on to my other auntie, asking for her insurance and if she owned the car, because they said that cars of that nature tend to get stolen.
What do you interpret from that comment?
For me, I'm thinking, is it a crime for black people to drive expensive cars?
Or do you think he was implying that you had stolen the car?
Yeah, because they mentioned that those kind of cars get stolen, but that could have been verified by them, that if the car was stolen with their database.
Now, the woman we heard in the recording who is refusing to get out of the car, that's your other sister, isn't it?
Yeah, my auntie.
Your auntie. So
Yeah.
she is insured to drive the
Yeah.
car, as it's her
Yeah.
husband's. Why didn't she want to get out of the car when she was asked to?
The way they were asking was in an aggressive manner, and by then they had their batons out. And
Sorry,
they were-
Sonia, how many officers were there?
At the first incident, there were two officers, a male and a female.
Yep.
And they were on either side of the car tapping the windows with their batons.
Right.
So if somebody is telling you to get out of a car and they have a baton, whether it's a police officer or not, and you feel like you're in danger and your safety is compromised, you do hesitate in terms of coming out of the car.
Yeah.
And she did request to speak to somebody else because obviously she wanted to resolve the issue, but they never allowed her that chance.
You say there were two officers there to start with. Did more officers arrive?
Yeah.
How many were at the end?
There were about 5 officers, 3 police cars, a police van and a police dog.
Do you think that your aunt was right not to get out?
Yes, definitely.
Why?
As a woman, at 2 a.m., being vulnerable, and you've got 2 people threatening your safety, and you have a 4-month-old baby, your instinct is to protect your child, first of all, and then yourself. So I do believe that it was right for her not to come out.
They smashed the window.
Yeah.
What happened then?
After that, they then proceeded to telling us that I got get out of the car, and my other auntie, who was then in the passenger side, was then dragged out of the car, and her chest was pushed so aggressively onto the car, and she was handcuffed. And they never read her rights. They never said that she was arrested. And
So she was.
asking them-
As far as you're concerned, she was actually arrested.
Yeah,
Right.
basically, if you're going to handcuff somebody, they are under arrest.
Right.
And she kept asking them why they're doing this, because her issue had already been resolved with the insurance thing, so I'm not sure why they went back to her. And then they allowed us to come out of the car with no, aggression and things like that, so I'm not sure why they went back to my other auntie.
What happened then?
Basically, we were sat outside. The baby was wrapped in a blanket for more than 2 hours. And for us as adults, we were shivering, let alone the baby. And then they kept saying that they were going to call Child Protective Services. They were going to take to the station. One police officer actually pushed his vest against my auntie while she was holding the baby, accusing her and saying, "Do you have mental health issues? Are you taking your medication?"
Why were they threatening to call social services about your child? What were they implying?
I have no idea, because it was just threats with no grounds, basically, because they're the ones that put that infant in danger. We actually found small particles of glass on her face.
Oh, dear.
When we got back to the hotel.
And all the time this is going on, you're stood outside, and you
Yeah.
say it went on for 2 hours.
Yeah.
How were you feeling, Sonia?
I was in shock, because when the glass first smashed, it went into my face. And that was just shocking, traumatic for me. And I was literally shaking. But then afterwards, I realized that this should not be happening. So I then proceeded to take all their details and the registration plates and the badge numbers, because things like this should not be going on from people that are supposed to be protecting you, and instead they're intimidating and endangering you. It's just unacceptable.
You were all escorted back to your hotel. What happened then? How did they leave?
Out of nowhere, they were like, "We'll take you home." Well, I'm back to the hotel, and my auntie was allowed to stay in the passenger side of the police car. My other auntie was sat in the other police car, and I was sat in the car that they smashed, and the police officer drove that car, and they dropped us off, and they basically said, "Have a nice evening," and they just left us there.
They actually said, "Have a nice evening."
Yeah.
So you've complained to Herts Police. Why?
Because these things should not happen. They should not be allowed to happen to people, to members of the public, whatever ethnicity you are. Things like this shouldn't happen, and they shouldn't be allowed to get away with things like this.
And you say now back to pandas.
And now back to pandas.
I'll do that.
Oh.
Pandas, costing us a fortune. What do they add to the world? Not a lot. Vanessa in Bedford, we should just let them die out, shouldn't we?
No, why should we? They were here before us.
Vanessa, are you calling us from space? This isn't God under a fake name, is it?
No, it's not.
OK, because you're sounding very echoey.
It's all right, I'll just turn your radio off.
There we go. Ah, that's it. Right. So, what are you saying, Vanessa? We shouldn't get rid of them?
No.
Why?
We're the worst animal on this planet. We're the ones that have destroyed all their habitat. Why shouldn't they live? They were a long time before us.
Yeah, and
you're a vegetarian.
Yeah, and they blew it.
My brother would absolutely murder you.
Why?
He's a veggie and he loves animals.
Hang on, he's a veggie, but he'd murder someone.
Yeah, he'd murder you for saying let the animals die.
Well, I'm not saying we should go out.
Yes, you are. You're saying let the tigers die.
I'm not saying. I'm not.
The
Vanessa.
elephants die.
Vanessa, I'm not saying we should.
Are.
No, you're not letting me finish a sentence. You don't know what I'm not saying.
You don't let people finish things either. I listen to you most mornings and I get so frustrated at times with you.
I'm not saying we should go.
Oh, yes, you are.
You've not let me finish the sentence. You don't know what I'm not saying, Vanessa.
Go on, then.
I'm not saying we should go out and shoot them.
Right.
I'm not saying we should go out and hunt them.
Right.
Just saying we just leave them to their own devices. If they survive, if they breed,
and if they,
well done.
If they were left to their own devices in the first place, they would still be surviving. We've hunted them down to what they are.
Well, the panda...
We've used up all their grounds.
Yeah.
We've built where they live. Why shouldn't they live?
Well, the panda, there is a strong argument the panda wouldn't survive. It's only through us encouraging them to breed in captivity that they are surviving, because they don't breed particularly well in the wild either.
Yeah, but I mean...
That's not our fault. It's not my fault.
Well, it's not... That might not be your fault, but I mean, tigers and all the others are.
I'm talking about pandas.
Yeah, you were talking about all animals that are...
You started to lose the argument on pandas, so you moved to tigers. Fine, OK, let's talk about tigers.
I agree with you in that way, but there again, why should they die?
Well, because it's evolution, it's survival of the fittest. Dinosaurs died. Sorry, evolution is what?
Say what I want to say.
Evolution is what? A load of baloney?
Yeah, you could say that.
You could say that, but then you'd be arguing against facts and science, so it would be probably...
Yes, and also you could be arguing against fact and science about other things as well, so, I mean, it just...
Well, that's not...
go round and round,
You would just go round and round if you just keep putting forward vacuous arguments. Listen, Vanessa, what has a panda ever done for you?
I don't know, nothing.
Well, exactly, let them go. They look cute, they look cuddly, but they're vicious.
Even you don't even like dogs.
I don't like dogs, yeah. I don't...
No, I know.
Right.
And that annoys me.
Why does that annoy you? I don't like dogs, Vanessa.
Well, you like cats.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not...
What about if people don't like cats? No, I like dogs and cats. I've got a dog, and he's perfectly amenable. He's laying down beside me.
I don't like your dog.
Well, I don't like you sometimes.
Yeah, but you still listen every day.
Not always. Sometimes I have to turn off because I want to really have a go.
It's good that it has an effect, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. What's the worst animal in the world apart from humans, Vanessa? If you had to get rid of one, which one would it be?
Spiders.
Oh, I could kill you, Vanessa. How dare you? How dare you pick on the vulnerable spiders? Just 'cause they're smaller than you. Shame on you, Vanessa. Naughty. The panda debate continued, and Paul in Biggleswade called in with a very good question.
Because I wonder what a panda has ever done for me, and I can't imagine that if we had a world with no pandas, I can't think that I'm going to wake up in the morning and go, oh no, there's no pandas in the world.
Yeah.
Now, you know, the WWF, you know, the World Wrestling Federation...
Yeah, the World Wildlife Fund.
They like to save pandas, but they could spend their money better doing much more useful things. And it's interesting you mentioned just now dodos in passing, because there's another thing. I mean, they're died out. I don't wake up in the morning and go, oh no, there's no dodos in the world. What am I going to do all day? And I was wondering, what else? Can I tell you another one? Do you
never sit at home and just turn the television off and shed a tear for the passing of the dodo, Paul?
No, never. No, I very rarely have the television on.
Why are you crying, Daddy? I miss the dodo.
But I tell you what, though, what was on the television, what gets me, was in Star Trek where they went back in time and saved that whale. Now, what was the point of that?
You're, of course, referring to Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, where they have to go back to 1984 to rescue a whale from Los Angeles with hilarious consequences.
Yeah, because if they don't, the whole Earth is going to come to an end. Yep. There's no whales in the world. Well, save the whale. What's that about then?
Paul,
it doesn't matter if whales die. What does that matter?
Paul, thank you for your call. I love the fact that we had Vanessa, who said that basically that evolution and survival of the fittest is nonsense. And Paul there basing his argument on the fourth, potentially the best, although controversial to claim that, as it's the comedy film, the Star Trek film for The Voyage Home. He's basing his science on that.
The pandas have been on this Earth before the humans walked on it.
OK.
Now, what cruelty is it you to say, get rid of all these pandas, not killing them, to let them just die?
Well, they've served their time, they've served it well. Let's salute them as they cease to exist on this Earth. They must be tired.
Well, isn't humans tired?
And we'll die out one day, Dave.
Right, fair enough.
Who's going to save us? The pandas?
Well, many years ago at school, when my teacher said to me, told us all, if there was no animals on this Earth, there was no birds on this Earth, we'd all die. How he meant it, we don't know.
You don't know. OK, so you listened to that sentence and you never actually analysed it, you just took the emotion from it.
Yeah,
okay.
you just
sensible.
listen to it.
Just listen to the words and get the feeling, don't actually get the understanding. OK, yeah, sensible.
But if an animal, you see, like out in China, they're pulling up all these bamboos to building things, and that's the only fruit that the panda lives on.
I don't think bamboo's a fruit. Isn't it a nut?
No, well, it's a nut in a sense, but I'm just saying that's the only thing they can live on in a sense. But China's digging them all up or cutting them all down.
Yep.
Well, China's the one that's killing off the panda.
Okay.
But do away with it. Don't chop them down, and the poor panda will live on like any other animal.
The thing is, they won't necessarily live on, Dave, because they have. Not only do they struggle to breed in captivity, they really struggle to breed in the wild as well. Now, we don't know why that is, and people have spent millions investigating why that is. We don't know. Pandas don't feel fruity anymore. We don't know, so let's just let them go. Stop trying to make them have. Imagine making them have. Imagine you, Dave. Right? You're dying out. So what the world do is they invest millions of pounds in putting you in a room and filming you as you try and fail miserably to have sex.
Oh, really?
How would you like that?
We've gone from pandas to sex now.
Well, that's what it all boils down to, Dave.
Oh, just one little thing before I come off. About this riddle about the on the car wheels.
Yes.
Well, don't ever try it, will you?
So someone tried it. Someone lost all their nuts, and they took one nut off each wheel, and they managed to drive through Italy.
Well, it's a wonder they wasn't arrested, because that is one of the biggest things on a car, the nuts. If you went into an MOT station, with one nut on the wheels, that would fail the MOT.
But as an emergency feature, Dave, you'd agree that if you have no other option, you could go with that.
Well, no, but you're breaking the law when you're doing it.
OK, but as an emergency feature, you could go with that.
Well, you can go with it.
Hang on a minute. Colin, say hello to Dave.
Good morning, Dave.
All right, Colin.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate.
What are you talking about, pandas or nuts?
Pandas.
Oh.
Any endangered species.
Pardon?
Any endangered species, because it's the same thinking for all of them.
Well, that's right, Colin. You know, are we talking between ourselves now?
I think so. I think he's gone to sleep.
Yeah. We'll let him really.
Basically, you were nearly right, mate.
And
what it is that modern thinking is that it's man that has destroyed the habitat of all these endangered species.
You're dead right, Colin.
And that we have a moral right to do something about it. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, basically, yes, it is, but and until human philosophy changes greatly, we're on a slippery slope.
Yeah, but one day, Colin, these animals are all going to turn on these humans and kill us.
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, you never know, do you? Well, where's that Iain? Has he gone off the tea break?
I think so, yeah.
It's coffee time.
Yeah, it must be.
But Colin, he barred me from the radio, but he's kept me on. Oh, good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
I get paid for this. Can you believe it? Sometimes I love my job. Justin, sorry to keep you waiting, sir.
Hello, boss. You all right?
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Only on your programme, eh?
Oh, yes. No, in a second. Now, Justin.
Yes.
Pandas. We sent you out to find out what the public thought about pandas.
Yes.
You've spoken to the public.
Yes, you've got a major issue with pandas. I've been out onto the streets this morning asking people, should we let the pandas go? Are they a waste of money? Are they a disgrace? All rolled into one. And here's what people had to say.
I don't think it's fair to have any animals in captivity, but it's the nature of the business, isn't it?
Let them go.
Let them go, yeah. If they're going to make it, they'll make it on their own.
We need everything on Earth. They're living animals, so we need them. They're part of our survival as well.
Iainlee's got a massive issue with pandas. Is he just a horrible man?
Yes, he is.
He says let them go.
No, don't let them go. No, we need pandas, definitely.
Would you give him a good slap?
Yes, I would, yeah.
Sir, should we just let the pandas go?
Yes.
Why don't you like pandas? What's your issue with pandas?
Not a lot. I just think they're a waste of time.
Why are they a waste of time? They're cute, cuddly little things.
Nah. No, they're not.
What would you say to anybody who says that you're just a cruel, heartless, horrible man?
I would say that's just my opinion.
Oh, I'm an animal lover. I've got to save them. We've got to save them.
Should we just let the pandas go, sir? What do you think?
Nah, we should still have them. It's something... They have a right to live as well, so they shouldn't get extinct.
Why are they worth the money?
Because they're so cute. They're part of life.
Sir, good morning. You're from China. How are you today?
I don't know what you mean.
Your pandas.
I don't know.
You know your pandas, they're here.
Pandas. Chinese.
Pandas.
Chinese.
Pandas, they're big white creatures with black marks. You know pandas?
I don't know.
Should we let the pandas go?
I don't know. Sorry, I don't know.
Thank you.
Hello, how can I help?
Intercom man, serious question today. Should we just let the pandas go and stuff?
Yeah, okay.
Save the pandas, yes?
Yes, we will save the pandas, yes.
Thank you.
Excellent. As long as Intercom Man is on board, then everything is fine. Janet has called in. Bamboo is neither a fruit or a nut. It's a grass.
Oh, is that right?
No, she's wrong because grass is green and bendy. Bamboo is like a stick.
Yeah.
So she's wrong there, Janet. Sorry about that.
Can you imagine sitting there all day eating bamboo? That's a dreadful existence.
I no wonder they're off their rumpy pumpy.
Exactly.
I couldn't do it if I had that much bamboo.
Need some meat down you.
And now for the answer to the riddle you've all been waiting for, even though Dave in Luton said it earlier. Here's the question.
There's a car. He gets a puncture. So it takes the wheel off, but when he looks, it's kicked one of the nuts away. How's he going to get home?
Here's the answer. Jim is walking his dog in Northampton. Jim, do you know the answer?
Yes.
Go on, what is it?
Take the wheel nut from each wheel to replace the ones that he's lost.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I had access to JVS's fanfare, I would play it despite the consequences that might bring me. Well done. Can you believe the people I'm working with, Jim, who couldn't get that answer for themselves?
It's only because I'm a diesel engineer.
Has this ever happened to you in real life?
Well, when I've gone on a breakdown, sometimes when, on the trucks, you've taken the wheel nuts off. Yeah. Sometimes it's damaged threads and things like that, and you think of ways around it. So in the past, I've managed to take wheel nuts from other parts of the vehicle to UK.
Always try and protect your nuts, Jim. You do not want to damage your nuts, do you? You don't want to grab someone else's nuts just because yours aren't working.
Oh no.
You got the point. You got the innuendo. Excellent. Scott Balcony, you popped in as our musical guest this week, and because you're unsigned, that means your songs aren't free. They are free.
I think so, yeah.
And they are not bound by the laws of copyright or indeed the laws of PRS, so we can play one of your songs. Yep. You sang a song about making bread. We're not going to play that one.
Oh, OK.
But you also sang a love song to our very own Justin Dealey.
Yeah, he's my hero.
OK. It's playing now.
Thanks, man.
I love Justin Dealey from Beds, Hearts and Bucks. He's got a lovely honest voice. Even though I love him, guess I'm out of luck, 'cause he's just one of the boys. but I'm gonna make him love me, gonna make him care, gonna run my fingers through his hair. You don't love me dearly, but I love you, and I know exactly what to do. Gonna wait until you're after somebody new, then I know exactly what to do. Gonna take you to my favourite record fair, gonna buy you every record there. I love Justin Dealey from Beds, Hearts and Bucks. Beds, Hearts and Bucks.
Well, that's it. Thanks for listening. If you want to listen, we're on weekdays between 6 and 9 p.m. on BBC Three Counties Radio. You can listen to any of the old shows by going to the BBC iPlayer. The podcasts only stay up online for 30 days. I don't know why, but sort it out. So go and grab them while you can. Email me, iain.lee@bbc.co.uk. Before we go, here's a reminder of what Justin Dealey sounds like doing an impression of Cilla Black.
Step inside love. Step inside love. Step inside love. Yeah, Chuck.
Thanks for listening to this free download from BBC Three Counties Radio, your local radio station for Beds, Hearts and Bucks, on FM, AM, digital radio, and online at bbc.co.uk/3counties.